Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about love and marriage Huntsville, okay? This episode left a lot to unpack, okay? I think it's going to be the beginning to a huge climax of events. I saw a clip from Carlos King where he was saying this is going to be like a 4-part thing on this trip. So I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to go. I think this is about to be crazy. So this is Love and Marriage Huntsville season 3, episode 8, titled Sin City Showdown. Okay. So the episode begins where they're showing Mel doing her music video. She's at her friend Stormy's home doing the video, and it shows the guy Naquan, which is the director of the video, and he co-wrote the song as well with Melody. So after the video is done, Mel goes outside to talk to her friend Brittany. So Brittany was basically a part of a whole social media thing where apparently Martell got on social media live, and he was talking about how, because Mel went on a brief vacation somewhere overnight. It was her week to have the kids, or I guess Martell was supposed to get the kids and he didn't. And so she, of course, as a mom, a working mom, you have to figure out a way to get proper child care for your kids. So she took the kids over to Brittany's house, and Martell basically went on this rant saying that there's no way that she can take care of 4 kids because she only has 1 kid. I think Martell was just pretty much lashing out and just trying to, I guess, get at Mel at that time. I'm not sure. Allegedly, this is what happened in the live, okay? So basically, Mel is sitting Brittany down to apologize to her for what happened and what Martell said because it wasn't true. Brittany accepts the apology, thankfully, and she's basically like, Martell's in a dark place in his life. He's going through some things. So I feel like that was just a way of him lashing out during that process. So, thankfully, Mel and Martell have people like Brittany in their life that's going to support them, because having 4 children, trying to get child care for them is definitely rough. And it certainly isn't good to have somebody going on social media, especially when you have a huge platform like they do now with such a successful show, talking trash about you. So kudos to Mel for bringing Brittany on the show to apologize to her in public, since Martell made everything so public, even though we will probably never know who Brittany is until somebody says something. But anyway, I appreciate Mel taking the time to do that. So in the next scene, Jalen and Letitia are at Black, and they're having a bit of a discussion about some of the things that are going on in the restaurant. They talk about how the bar manager had left and quit over a holiday weekend, and so did the chef. So Jalen, is talking about how he just had to pretty much put on 50 different hats over the weekend to take care of some things because they're very short-staffed. So Letitia's saying, while I understand all that, you need to send me the nightly reports. And you haven't been sending me the nightly reports. As the GM, this is your job, and this is what you need to do. I have a problem with Letitia and Marceau's managing of this restaurant. Statistically, most restaurants fail within the first year of business. Why? Because people underestimate how much work it takes to put in a restaurant. There are so many people out here that think, because your mama's macaroni and cheese is delicious, that now you need to go on and fry up some chicken in the kitchen and have a restaurant. No, that is the wrong mindset. Everybody that has a business concept for a restaurant probably doesn't need to do it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of this situation right here. People are not willing to put the work in. Okay? So you talking about some daggone reports, and he's short-staffed. Where are the extra hands coming from? I'm not going to send you a goddamn email because I'm trying to find some time to sleep, because I've done 4 jobs this evening. I've done my job and 3 other people that have quit. Are you kidding me? And you asking, call a staffing agency. That's what you need to be doing. That's what I want to see you doing, Tisha. Okay? So they have a bit of a back and forth about that. And then Jalen asks her, well, are we good? Where is our relationship? Because I don't want the things that are happening in the restaurant to carry over into our personal relationship as, aunt and nephew. I really want to make sure, I want to check the temperature of our relationship and make sure we're good. Which kudos to Jalen, because I feel like that was very mature of him. For him to be a 20-something-year-old young guy, I feel like he has very good communication skills. And I think he's just trying to read the room and see what's going on. Then he even further says, I just want to make sure, I know you and my mom have had some strife and some issues in the past. I just want to make sure that that's not being taken out on me either. Because he's not dumb. He can sense the frustration coming from Tisha, and he just wants to make sure, is it really the restaurant, or is it because you got an attitude with my mama right now? Like, and I'm just here to let you know, I ain't here for the bowl, okay? Don't take whatever you got going on with my mother out on me. If we have something going on in the restaurant, I just want to make sure that's what it's all about. So Tisha gets offended, and she says, I really don't think that should be, this is in her confessional. She says that she's offended that he would even ask her that question. But to him, she says she's very professional. She would never let personal lines cross where it comes to business. So Marceau comes in, and of course he wants to come in and talk a bunch of BS and smooth over the situation, basically saying that, yes, Jalen, he comes in with a positive, right? Which he a slickster. He must have taken some management skills classes at some point, because you know how you always give the sweet before you get the saltiness going on. So he tried to be sweet in the beginning. So he says how he gives Jalen kudos about keeping up the restaurant and really persevering through all those people quitting. But he feels like Jalen needs to suck it up, because through hard work and anguish and disappointment, there's beauty in all of that. It's going to teach you to do better. No, motherfucker, you need to get somebody up in here to help me. That's what it is. You don't want to come in here and do no damn work. That's what that's all about. So you trying to butter me up and make it sound sugary, buttery sweet, and it's not. Okay? Get me some help. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, Tisha and Marceau have commissioned this young man to run their entire business. I don't care. And I see comments all over social media where they're like, oh, they should have got a real general manager. They got him in there, number one, because he's less expensive. I have no doubt of that. And more importantly, they trust Jalen. It's very hard to trust somebody when you're opening up a brand new business. So I totally understand that piece of it all. But he is your nephew, and it's very shitty how y'all are treating him. Because here's the thing. If you had a normal GM in there, they would have been on the next thing smoking up out of there, because you guys are unprofessional. Let me tell you about another multi-million-dollar person worth so much money that started a restaurant that's now successful. Why is her restaurant successful, you may add? Candy Burris and Todd Tucker, okay? They have a restaurant, a little-known restaurant called OLG in Atlanta. Very successful. They've opened up new restaurants because of the success of OLG. But why? Candy, with all her millions, and her husband Todd, even her mama and her aunts, what do? They come in there and work in the restaurant. They're not too big to come in and service their restaurant. She's had issues with GMs in the past. She's had issues with staffing at her restaurant. But guess what they do? They go in and put the blood, sweat, and tears into the business as needed. You guys are missing that, and you're missing the mark. And if you don't, the restaurant will never be in the black. Look that up in business terms if you guys want to know what I'm talking about. So moving right along from that, stop trying to butter Jalen up to be okay with adversity in your restaurant and actually do some work to get your restaurant to be successful. Because at the end of the day, y'all can sweet talk the hell out of Jalen all you want. If you had to get a real GM in there, y'all will really see how fucked up y'all are treating him and how your business is really going to go down. Because Jalen is doing extra because he loves you guys and he knows that you guys are fucking him over. So you guys better do whatever you can to keep that young man, get him the education that he needs so that your restaurant can survive. And get in there and put your hands in there and do some damn work. I'm just saying. That just really rubbed me the wrong way throughout the episode, y'all. So I'm sorry if I went off on a long tangent on that. So moving right along. After they have the conversation, Jalen leaves the restaurant. He's saying, let me go do these reports that y'all so pressed to damn have. We ain't got no damn staff, but I'm just saying, I'm going to go do these little dumbass reports real quick. So Marceau and Tisha have a quick conversation. They start taking the chairs down to help Jalen out because the restaurant is getting ready to open. So Tisha apologizes to Marceau for like grabbing his face in the last episode and just kind of being a little bit more aggressive with him than she normally is. And, Marceau appreciates the apology, and she says, I just really, You seem to take it, easily when people are talking about you and when people are bringing up rumors, but I always feel the need to protect you because I don't like when people say things about you and it's not true. So my first reaction is to defend you. And when I feel like you're not assisting me in defending you, I get upset. And that shouldn't have been my reaction. So Marceau appreciates the apology. They move on. They talk about Vegas. It's their 15-year anniversary coming up, so they want to get everybody together to go to Vegas. So that's what they're going to do. So in the next scene, Maurice goes to Tiffany and Lewis's, I guess, baseball business called Out the Compound or whatever. I guess this is where they teach young boys, or it's basically like a batting cage of sorts or whatever. But they have a business and he goes there to talk to Lewis. So basically, Maurice is going to talk to Lewis to further smooth things over and make sure that they're in a good place and that, there's no bad blood still, but also to reinforce that kids are off limits. You guys want to talk about my kid on national TV, so I'm going to correct you about talking about my kid on national TV. And I just want to make it very clear that this is the last time I want to be able to have to be having this conversation with your ass, because you better not talk about my son anymore. And let's be clear, okay? And I agree with Maurice because, my thing is every child does handle things differently, but not every child is on national TV, okay? So I really am glad that he really drove the point home to them, because in the last episode, they tried to make it seem like it was a strife, and him and Kimmy's relationship is why this was such a big deal to him. No, as a parent, if either one of them as they're coming on the show, somebody says something about their son doing something negative that could really tarnish their image, they will be pissed. So sometimes people need to be also looking at how the things that they do would affect them if it was done to them. And I think in this situation, Tiffany and Lewis really lacked that. So I'm glad that Maurice came by to pretty much reinforce, listen, let's be clear. We've moved on, but you determine whether we really moved on. Keep my son's name out your mouth. So they also talk about the Vegas trip, how Maurice is how Marceau is extending an invite to Tiffany and Lewis, and how he would, love to see them there. And then Lewis says, listen, to further let you know that we're all on the same page and we're all good. We understand where you're coming from. We're going to have a celebratory drink while we're in Vegas. Okay. So they move on from that. Everybody's cool, or everything's all good in the hood. So the next scene, Mel and Destiny meet up at Destiny's house, and they talk about going on the Vegas trip. They discuss being single on the trip, like this is their first single trip. Destiny's like, this is my first trip since I had Law. I'm ready to go. I'm going to have a good old time. And so Mel says, well, girl, if you going, I'm going too. And then, she says, well, we not the only single ones. Technically, Martell is single too. So she's like, I'm going to need your support, girl, because I don't know how this going to be with me and Martell being up in the same daggone place, child. Like, this going to be a mess. And so Destiny's like, well, I don't know how it's going to be me up in here with Tiffany and her cold tea. So Mel is like, why do you keep on messing with Tiffany? Like, she's really nice. You need to leave her alone. And I'm like, Mel, stop defending this girl. Tiffany is trifling. And the sooner you see it, the better. I feel like you putting her up to do this stupid stuff. Because if she's so nice, like you saying, then why is it that she being so negative? Are you doing this, Mel? You behind the scenes puppeteering Tiffany. She your puppet. I'm just saying. Anyway. But they talk about having fun on the trip. And then they talk about how they're going to come a day late. So that's going to be very interesting how everybody else will be there already. And then they come the next day. So I want to see how that happens in the next episode. So anyway, next scene, the Scotts, the Whitlows, and Martell, you see all of them arriving in Vegas. They get on a party bus. All the ladies take a spin on the pole and show their lack of skill, because I don't know what the heck they were doing. And then Tisha thanks everybody for coming, thanks the Whitlows for coming, and says what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, okay? So they talk about Martell's alter ego, Marcus, that comes out when he's drunk. And he says that's fine because he's single and he is there to have a good time. I wonder if Ariane thinks that you're single. Allegedly, my opinion, all that. Maybe Ariane will be single while you're gone. Who knows? So Tisha tells everyone to go pick rooms once they get to the house that they've rented for their time in Vegas, and everyone walks around to look at the house. So Marceau is like, he's getting some ideas for their business because with the architecture of the house and some of the amenities that the house has. So they're really getting some ideas for Scott Manor. So the next scene, Marceau is in the kitchen looking for Rotel, and the conversation somehow leads into him saying if Tisha sleeps with another chick, he doesn't consider it cheating. I feel like Marceau is really trying to push this threesome situation with Tisha. The way Tisha run around sniffing his drawers to make sure he ain't cheating, I would really think that he need to just go on and handle the woman that he has and not worry about nobody else, because she always worried about you being with another woman. So I don't see this going well for you. You need to just let that go. Don't even talk about threesomes with her because it ain't happening. So Martell said, so basically after Marceau says it's not cheating if she sleeps with another woman, Martell says, well, cheating is if you do it with somebody and your mate doesn't know. Martell, whenever you have your penis in the presence of a person that did not stand before the Lord and commit themselves to you, you cheating, okay? I don't understand how you haven't gotten this yet. This is why you're in the predicament that you're in and broke. You're going to continue to be broke because you're stupid. That's what that is. You need to get yourself together, get your head out of your ass, and get your life together, okay? You on a trip still being stupid, and you single and stupid. So, Mel, you did the right thing by getting the hell out of Dodge. I'm just saying. So then somehow they discuss, Martell says cheating is only cheating if you do it with somebody you know. Okay, so they discuss Kimmy rubbing on people and how Destiny thought Kimmy and Jalen wanted her. And Kimmy says she isn't interested in Destiny in that way, and neither was Jalen. I don't know where Destiny kept getting the fact that they wanted her. I thought that was kind of weird too, but whatever. They cleared that up already. Destiny and Kimmy are cool. Moving on. Everyone decides because they were supposed to go out for a dinner the first night, so everybody decides to just stay in the house instead. So everybody stays in the house. They're getting themselves ready to go get in the pool. And I thought it was interesting. Letitia and Marceau are in the room, and Letitia shows him her bathing suit. And he's like, this is it? This is your bathing suit? Where's the rest of it? Pretty much kind of like, I don't know about this bathing suit. So then she goes in the bathroom to put the bathing suit on, and she's kind of seeming like she's being suggestive towards Marceau. Like, don't you want to help me put my bathing suit on? Hint, hint. Like, don't you want to come and tear this ass up before we go outside real quick? Get away from these cameras. I don't think Marceau caught the hint because he was like, no, I don't need to help you put your bathing suit on. I was like, oh, rejection, maybe? Okay. So then she says, well, don't be. So I think she got in her feelings. She's like, well, don't be trying to help me take it off later either. And he was like, I don't need to help you take this off. It don't look like you need no help taking this thing off. I was like, ooh, that sucks. But anyway, so they all go into the kitchen before they go outside to get in the pool. So as they're in the kitchen, Tiffany comes downstairs without Lewis. And Tiffany says he's still asleep, and she makes a comment saying, you know how it is when a baby first wakes up. And Marceau says, I try to know as little about babies as possible. That's what I have a wife for. She handles all the babies. What? Who are you, Fred Flintstone? I don't understand. This caveman mentality that Marceau has, first of all, for 15 years, Tisha has put up with it. So honestly, when you let somebody get away with stuff like that for so long, I can't even feel sorry for you because you have let this go on so long that he thinks that this is okay. If Marceau was to get with any other woman, which, luckily for him, they're at an age now where unless he's trying to be with some young chick, if God forbid things don't work out with him and Tisha, that ain't flocking. Nobody is going to be having you think that they're going to be the home health aide and take care of all things in the house, and you don't have to help with these children. Development of your children is very key. And furthermore, you don't want to teach your kids that that's how it needs to go. Do you want to teach your daughters that she should be 100% submissive to her husband and she is submissive to the wrong guy doing the wrong things? You need to teach them balance. to have their own life, be able to do things on their own and not depend on some man. Because that's what you're teaching your daughters to do. Depend on a man for everything and be dumb. I'm not going to say they mama dumb because she do got a lot of degrees, but degrees don't really mean you real educated. On paper, but not in your head. Common sense goes a long way. I'm just saying. But anyway, I digress. I don't like that mentality that Marcel has, but again, I don't really feel sorry for Tisha because she has entertained this behavior for years. Obviously, their children are of age, and yeah, she doesn't say anything, so he gonna keep on acting like that. So Tiffany in her confessional is basically like, yeah, I'm definitely not. I would not be dealing with that. And I don't know how Tisha has dealt with it this long. I'm just saying. And she like, I'm in my second marriage and I ain't about to deal with no crap like that. So moving right along, Tisha blames Maurice for the way Marceau acts because apparently Marceau is super drunk at this point and he's just talking a lot of crap. So Tisha blames Maurice for the way Marceau acts. Apparently ever since he moved to Huntsville, Marceau has somehow changed, right? So Marceau teases Maurice as well because Maurice says, yeah, before I got here, Marceau was 70 pounds overweight. And Maurice says, so were you. And he was like, everybody was before Kimmy came around. And then Marceau says Maurice was in Marceau says Maurice was in a fucked up marriage and Kimmy stole him and saved him. Martell jokes that Kimmy was a side chick, and Kimmy sets the record straight for Tiffany because Tiffany was there saying she is not and never has been anybody's side chick. She says Martell is always Kimmy says Martell is always trying to paint the narrative that she was the side chick to cover up and divert the attention from his extramarital affairs. There was a time in the second season, I'm not sure, second season, I believe. Martell just kept on blaming everything on everybody else. Nothing was his fault. He just did anything to take the spotlight off of him and his indiscretions, okay? He want to say, well, yeah, I'm cheating, but so is Marceau. And yeah, and Maurice was cheating with Kimmy too. And Martell, we talking about you, my ninja. We not talking about these two. You the one in hot water right now. You the one was with somebody for over 5 years, which is insane. You should have just left your marriage because obviously if you can't make a choice, you've made your choice. That's what you've done. And you shouldn't have subjected Mel for so long to be in a relationship with you where you were obviously not happy and making her unhappy. And then you created more children in the process. Very, very, very irresponsible and just selfish if you ask me, which nobody did, but I'm saying. So anyway, they all move out to the pool. Marceau and Martell are always, Marceau says that Martell is always telling lies on everybody because he was in a dark place in his life. And he wanted to drag everyone else into his mess. This is the conversation about Kimmy being a side chick, obviously carrying over into the pool. And Kimmy says it's not funny, joking, calling her a side chick. And Marceau says it is pretty funny, but when it's about you, it's not funny. I agree. But Kimmy then says, well, is it funny when people say you have a side baby? First of all, y'all better stop coming for Kimmy because Kimmy does not come to play with any of you niggas. Okay, she is like, she ain't here to play with none of y'all fools. Okay, Kimmy is like, okay, you got to come back for me. I got a freaking bazooka for your ass coming back. Okay, y'all better stop playing with her because that girl going to read your ass like the whole encyclopedia in the library. Okay, stop playing with her. That's girl. Kimmy is my girl. And she from Baltimore too. Y'all better stop messing with her. Kimmy so Marceau says that's funny as hell actually. And then Kimmy says, I don't see Tisha laughing. And Tisha sure enough wasn't laughing. But Tisha always seems to make it seem like she never sees their fault in things. So she's like, I feel like Kimmy was trying to defend me, but I don't know. I don't know if Kimmy was really trying to defend you. I think she was trying to bring the point home that y'all need to stop fucking with her. That's what I think Kimmy was trying to do. And here's my thing. It's okay for Marceau to sit up there and make fun of Kimmy and throw jabs at her of something that obviously is not true. But You want to sit here and get mad that she brought up him having a side baby. It's the same thing. She's just making a correlation so your dumbasses can understand where she's coming from. But you, with all your degrees, don't seem to get it. I don't understand. Context clues, Tisha. Context clues. We learned that in grade school. Okay? I'm just saying. Get your minds right and stop calling the girl a side chick. That's all I got to say. So then Tisha brings up her mom saying that Kimmy told her to shut the fuck up while hitting on the table and it was disrespectful. Kimmy says she never said that, and Wanda is always gaslighting situations. And she says she's tired of fighting with people every day to prove herself. Basically, she's tired of fighting with various people in Tisha's family to prove that the things that they see on TV, the stuff that they see on social media and all this stuff is just not true. They're misinterpreting things and running with it, and then she's supposed to somehow bow down to everybody and to make everything okay, and that can get very tiring. I don't even know how Kimmy is still mustering up the energy to even be in this family, because collectively they all are idiots. So moving right along, Tisha, Kimmy basically says Tisha should stop believing everything everyone says firsthand. You know, basically she comes to her with the information as if it's true and expecting her to just somehow apologize and not even asking her about the situations first. So then Tisha says, well, me and Jalen had a conversation and he asked me, you know, are we good because of what's going on between, you know, you and I? And did I sit up here and come and tell you about that? No, I didn't. And so Kimmy basically comes back and says, well, yeah, Jalen doesn't come to me and tell me things and then I run and come and talk to you about it, because that's not what I do. And she's like, you know, well, you're always defending Jalen, just like my mom always defends me. And then it gets into how, you know, Kimmy is like, I don't always defend Jalen, but you guys do some messed up stuff. And I don't agree with a lot of the things that you guys do and how you treat him in that business, basically. And Marceau says, I'm wrong sometimes, Tisha's wrong sometimes, Jalen and Kimmy are wrong sometimes. But, you know, you just never want to accept that you're just always protecting Jalen. You never really want to accept that he's wrong sometimes. So Kimmy just blows up. And I hear Maurice actually for the first time defending Kimmy slightly in the background, because he says, oh no, she does tell Jalen when he's wrong. But I'm like, Maurice, where the hell was you when they kept calling her the damn side chick? Why don't you ever stick up for Kimmy? It's like Kimmy always got on a badge of armor. She always got on a suit of armor all the time, dodging the blows, another blow, all the time. And where you at? You ain't her shield of protection at all. Like, you're supposed to cover your wife, Maurice. Where's the covering? I don't see it. You're leaving her butt naked out here, brother. I'm just saying. It's real messed up. You need to start defending your wife, because everybody is being mad disrespectful, and it just looks like you're okay with it. You back there just laughing it off. You don't tell her nothing. You don't talk to her about stuff. It's getting crazy. You're working all the time. You're not spending no time with her. Damn, Kimmy, why you still there, girl? I don't know. She must love your dirty drawers, because at this point, sir, you lacking. I'm just saying. But getting back to the thing, talking with Kimmy. So Kimmy gets upset that they are constant. It's like she is the brunt of the joke, the humiliation, the foolishness of the evening. So it just boils up, you know, they over here talking about her baby, talking about her son, and talking about how she don't never ever correct him, which I see Kimmy correcting Jalen all the time, actually, from the episodes that I've seen. So I guess Kimmy gets pissed and she said, I'm so fucking tired of your ass, talking to Marceau. So I'm like, yes, Kimmy, tell him, girl. Tell them you ain't got time for that fucking foolishness. Let them know, girl. So I'm interested to see how this episode, the next episode goes, with Mel and Destiny finally showing up. It's going to be real crazy seeing Mel and Martell on a vacation together, where they have to be in the house together and they not together. They together apart, I guess, at this point. So we'll see how it goes, y'all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers, you peoples, and I love you guys. Please love me back in that way by commenting, more importantly, subscribing and liking this video. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video.